I analyzed the top 10 clothing stores on Shopify to see how they're getting their traffic. What are they doing on their sites to improve their conversion overall? And I'm gonna give you 4 actionable things that you can do or start doing on your store. Starting with number 1, mobile first. Over 60% of the traffic going to these top 10 pages are coming straight from mobile. Now, that's not to say that all these websites have actual mobile applications. I would think that's a different thing. We're talking strictly about mobile visitors to their stores. And to be honest, like, it was a little bit stark and a realization when COVID hit and they were trying to do the whole education from home. The percentage, right, of households that don't own a desktop computer, which is crazy to think because I've always owned a desktop computer because of the job that we have. But majority of people carry one of these, and this is the main way that they shop online. So designing your store with mobile first in mind would be something that I would highly suggest doing. And even beyond that, picking a theme, we talked about this a lot, picking a theme that actually has a good amount of customizations that you can do for mobile. There are going to be themes out there, for example, where you are trying to do a hero section, and that hero section is just going to be that horizontal type section, and they won't have any other options to do a different image for mobile. Even something as simple as that, I would want to make sure that my theme has that and it's actually optimized for mobile. And obviously, beyond just having a theme that's compatible with mobile customizations and you can actually do a few more extensive things with it, I would also look into your page speed insights and see how fast your site is loading on mobile. Those are going to be the top 2 things that I would do to ensure that my website is optimized. Now, the second actionable thing that you can do is add reviews. 90% of the websites that I looked into have some form of review or social proof embedded into the product page and or the home page as well. It's a very well-known thing. Having reviews on your website increases conversion. It also increases the amount of time that people spend on your website. Having reviews on the website, it's free content for SEO, proves that it can persuade someone into actually purchasing something. So whatever it is that you need to do in order to gain more reviews, right? Whether it's texting, emailing, incentivizing your customers, having handwritten notes within your packaging, anything that you can do, that's one of my number 1 priorities, right? Mobile, yes. Number 2, reviews. Getting reviews on your site is absolutely crucial. And the top 10% of clothing stores on Shopify are doing reviews, are doing all these campaigns within their email and SMS. So these are things that I would highly suggest that you pay attention as well. Now, another great thing about having reviews on your site, which I mentioned it, SEO. For SEO, you think about that, right? If I have people writing on my, let's say, shirt page, this is the best hands down hoodie I've ever worn, as a headline, right, for that particular review, Google and all these search engines are going to look into that, right? More than likely, you're going to rank higher for best sweatshirt or best hoodie, you know, best material. Like, all these keywords that you're adding through reviews will matter when it comes to SEO, which again is one of those things that we want to pay attention to when it comes to increasing some of the traffic to your store. If you think about it, you're literally just adding hundreds of keywords to each of your product pages, potentially collection pages, potentially home pages, right? As you highlight these reviews on different pages as well. Now, what I would say is a step down from reviews would be any sort of social proof. Like, any time that you can actually share what you're doing within social media, it could also be a good thing, right? A lot of stores tend to have their Instagram feeds on their website. And to be honest, the ones that we've looked at, majority of them did have some form of social media built in or mixed in within their review system or their home pages. So having some form of social proof, right? Social proof, the highest the range of social proof is going to be actual reviews from your customers. But like I said, a step down from that would be the fact that you are actually active on social media, that you're actually sharing content, that you're trying to engage with a wider community. Things like that will actually make the perception of your brand just rank a little bit higher than competition that may not be doing that. Now, the third actionable thing, people are spending time on these websites, and I'm talking about time. Again, this is an estimate, right? We're going through SEM Rush and basically letting that data kind of guide us through some of these things. But on average, I mean, we're looking here at Fashion Nova just as an example, but Fashion Nova has an average visit duration of 19 minutes and 16 seconds. From what we gathered from the top 10, the average is about 6 to 7 minutes, which is still mind-boggling, right? When you think about 7 minutes spending on a site, where right now you may be getting a good minute, hopefully, which is, I would say, probably the average, right, for a clothing store is a good minute on site. Now, a lot of this has to do with the fact that they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of products on their stores. So it's a little bit more of a hunting down the actual product that you want to see, right? So again, that could be a positive, right? Having a ton of inventory, a ton of different items that you can share with your customers. But on the flip side, they also have interactive things within their stores. Some of them, for example, Bombas, they have a sock finder quiz, right? Which you may not think that you need a sock finder, but it's just a good interactive thing to have within your store. And things like this actually help with people staying a little bit longer on your site. So anytime that you can do custom quizzes or forms, or again, just improve and expand on the actual content that you're sharing with your products, these are all things that I would definitely do. Now, something that maybe also skew into data could be like, you know, people like they have such high conversions on these they're very popular websites, right? So they have very high conversions. So more than likely people are spending a lot of time filling out all their information, you know, within the checkout page. So all that, you know, tends to increase the time spent on the website, especially if people are coming here to actually shop and not just kind of like, you know, window shop. Now I want to give you, before we jump into the last one, just a little tidbit here too. DuckDuckGo is actually pretty popular search engine that should keep popping up on all the SEMrush reports that we were doing. And that's just to say that, you know, a lot of people tend to focus on Google, maybe even Bing, but ranking their third and fourth place, Yahoo and then DuckDuckGo, are definitely good avenues and good things to start looking into. Again, these are some of the bigger stores, and they may have, to be honest, maybe a younger generation that are looking into some of these stores, and it looks like they are using DuckDuckGo. Obviously, it's not dethroning Google or anything like that, but it was a little bit higher than, it wasn't last place, I would say that. It wasn't last place. So looking into something like DuckDuckGo and just different avenues, right, on how people are getting to your site, there's always good data to be seen whenever you start kind of digging just a little bit deeper. Now, the fourth actionable thing that you can do on your store is using your collection pages to, again, insert more keywords and pay attention to those target keywords that you may already be ranking for and seeing how you can introduce them into your collection page. I will say this, from the research that I did, SEO is at the bottom of their priority on these stores. Again, they're very, very popular stores, so they don't have to do a whole lot of SEO for people to actually find their stores. So they're really not paying attention to a whole lot of organic SEO and targeting different keywords and things like that. But on the flip side, this is something where you as a smaller business owner could take advantage of, right? Because if the big people are not necessarily doing that, then something that will set you apart from what they're doing is that you can actually do that. You can actually insert more keywords. And like I said, collection pages to me is the lowest hanging fruit, because a lot of people tend not to do anything with their collection pages. But I encourage you to add some of those keywords, some of those target keywords to your collection pages. And the recommendation there really is to have a nice one sentence at the top and then have a full-on paragraph, maybe even 2 paragraphs towards the bottom of that collection page, so that you're actually inserting all these keywords. Again, you want to insert things that are relevant, right, to that particular collection, but it will make you rank a little bit higher than other people who are not doing that. Just to give you an example of how that looks from Fashion Nova themselves, you see the collection page at the very top, women's formal dresses. They actually don't even have any sort of description, but you scroll down here towards the bottom of the page and you'll see about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 almost paragraphs worth of information here on formal dresses, right? And that's really the target keyword here, is formal dresses. They're doing just a great job overall of inserting keywords, also inserting links to interlink within some of their internal pages as well. Now, also speaking on SEO and a little bit of the research that we did from these stores, and something that we get asked a lot, right? Should I have a blog on my website? I will say that out of the 10 stores, only 4 of them had actually a legitimate blog on their stores. And again, this can actually just mean that they don't care too much about SEO because they're already getting a lot of traffic just from them being a very well recognizable brand. Now, I will say, do blogs help? I think so. Yeah, I do think that blogs help, but you also want to make sure that you're creating content for your blog that actually is helping your audience, is actually helping your community. I would not necessarily create blogs just for the sake of creating blogs. It is a hard thing to do and something that you're probably not going to enjoy, then eventually maybe outsource to someone. But again, having quality content, right, that you can actually share within your blog, where you can actually sell some of your products, that's the way I would probably handle my blog. Not necessarily as a 100% SEO, game plan, that's the only reason why you have a blog, then that might not be the greatest idea. There you have it. 4 actionable things that you can do for your store by us analyzing the top 10 clothing Shopify stores right now. Again, this data is not 100% accurate. It's from what we can see, with SEMrush and using things like Google Page Speed and using things like Koala Inspector to really try to dive deeper into how people are finding these stores and how they're actually using these stores. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments down below, and we'll maybe do another breakdown of the, store number 11 all the way up to 20, right? And see maybe some of the stores that may be more relevant, right, to where you're at right now. Now, as 4 is your number, then you're definitely going to enjoy this next video, which is 4 hacks to increase your conversion. Check that out.